Ticket to Ride, the game where you create the train tracks. In this video, we're going to walk you through how to play, including how to set it up, how to win, gameplay, and any additional rules you need to be familiar with. So let's go ahead and get started. The setup of the game is really easy, and once you know how to do it, it just takes a couple minutes. Place the board down face up. Players will select colored tokens, and those colored tokens correlate with the color of trains. These are bonus cards. You're just going to set those to the side, as well as the scoring key, which matches this scoring key right here. Separate the tickets from the trains. And for now, we're just going to put these right here, and then shuffle the trains. You'll do the same with the ticket cards. Be sure that you mix these up thoroughly. And then you are going to hand out 3 ticket cards to each player, 4 of the train cards out to each player. Place 5 face up in front of the board. The remaining will go in a stack just like so. So now the game is ready. Let's talk about how you win so you know what you need to do while you're playing. The goal of the game is to get the most points compared to any person by the time one person runs out or has 0, 1, or 2 trains left. There are different ways that you can get points. You can use these tickets by fulfilling the routes. For example, this says San Francisco to Atlanta. If I get a train that connects all the way to Atlanta, then I get an additional 17 points. In addition, you have every time you lay down, you get a point for every route that you fulfill. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trains long. 6 would get 15 points. 3 would get 4 points, etc. So you just use the scoring for that. And you also get a bonus point if you have the longest train, which is an additional 10 points. Person at the end of the game with the most points wins. Now let's talk about gameplay. Before everyone gets started, they have a chance to look at their tickets, which you'll want to keep secret. You go through and you decide which tickets you want to keep. You can take 1, 2, or all 3, but you have to start with at least 1 ticket. And I do have a strategy video for Ticket to Ride, so if you want to see strategies on what tickets you should choose, definitely check that video out. So I keep all 3 of my cards, but other players can choose whether or not they want to keep all 3, just 1, just 2, etc. And then you can look at your train tokens. Keep these secret from the other players, but for this video, I will show you what I've drawn. This is what I've started out with. Now you're ready for the first player to go first. Now, after you choose who goes first, you have specific actions you can do. A get trains, which this action is you take 2 trains that are from the face up pile or 2 trains from this pile, and that's strategic. You can decide, oh, I need that yellow and that yellow. So for your turn, you choose to draw 2 trains. And that is your action for your turn, and your turn's over. Another action that you could take instead is you can choose to get another ticket, at which point you would draw 3 cards, look at the 3 cards, and if you do this action, you do have to take one of the 3 cards. You could take 1, 2, or 3, but you have to take at least 1. So you take 1, add it to your tickets, and then place the remaining tickets that you decided not to keep at the bottom of the ticket thing. Throughout the game, you're trying to fulfill these tickets. So by looking at San Francisco to Atlanta, I need to lay down trains that will get me there. That follows the next type of action you can do. For example, I have 3 yellow trains, and there's a route that has 3 yellow. So I can turn in my 3 yellow trains and place my trains on that route. Every time you lay down a train, for example, if I had enough trains cards to do this route, you get points. So this route is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 train cars. So 5 equals 10 points. And you'd move your piece, that's 10 points. So as the game goes on, your pieces work their way around the board. You can't do 2 actions per turn. For example, you can't get a ticket and play a route. You have to choose one or the other. So a recap on those actions is pick up 2 of the trains from either this lot that's facing up or from the facing down. You can get a new ticket by drawing 3 and choosing one of the 3, or you can lay down your trains by turning in the train cards that you have that are associated with the color of train that you want to place your trains on. Now let's talk about how the game ends. Well, everyone's putting out a bunch of trains, and eventually it gets down to where you only have a couple trains left. At this point, this player, red player, has 72 points, and you should be tracking your score as you go, but if you need to, you can recount at the end by following the process of using this key. So for example, this has 3 carts, so 3 carts equals 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carts equals 10 points. So as you notice, you get a lot more points for a route that has 6 than you do a route that has 1 or 2. So it's definitely worth trying to get the bigger routes. But once you get to the point where everyone has just a couple, for example, it's yellow's turn and they decide that they're going to turn in their 2 orange carts and place a route right here. Now they have 2 or less trains, so the final round is enacted. And notice how not everyone has that little of trains. So for example, blue's turn, it's blue's turn, and even though they have a bunch of carts, they're only able to put down 2 for this red right here. Or right here. That was their last turn, even though they have a bunch of carts, because this person enacted the last round. And then red gets their opportunity. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they use 3 wild cards and 1 card to place their final their final move. So that was the last round, and now it's time to get your bonus points and look at your points. So as of right now, red has the most points, but now it's time to look at the tickets that were completed. Red completed Los Angeles to New York, Los Angeles to New York. There is a route that goes all the way through, so they get plus 21 points. Blue, on the other hand, Portland to Nashville, they did not get that, so this is a negative 17 points. And Kansas City to Houston, here's Houston, Kansas City, plus 5 points. So you've got positive points for the ones that you completed and negative points for the ones that you did not complete. After adding everyone's scores up, whoever has the most points wins. Now let's talk about some additional rules for you. If there is a rainbow car, if you want to do a face up of this rainbow one, you can only take 1 card instead of the usual 2. If you grab the 2 cards from this pile and one happens to be a rainbow, you can still pick up your second card because it was face down, so you get the benefit of having a wild plus a card. Let's talk about what this wild card actually is. If you have wild cards, you can play them just like you would a normal card, but it can be any color you want. So if you have 3 reds and you need 4 reds, you can pair it with a wild card. Say you have 3 wild cards and you need blue, but you don't have blue. You can use these 3 wilds to fulfill that blue route. So you can pair 1 with the route, you can pay 2, 3, as many as you need. They are wild cards, you can use them as you wish. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have house rules for Ticket to Ride, please leave a comment below with those house rules. I love house rules with games. I just think it adds a fun twist to them and it makes it unique. If someone's played it before, it's still different and a new game for them when they come to your house and play them. So please leave it in the comment. I would love to see it, and I'm sure the community of gamers would as well. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do videos for how-to videos, reviews, as well as strategies and different ways that you can win the game. So definitely check that out, including one for Ticket to Ride, how to win Ticket to Ride strategies. Check my channel out for that. I think you'll enjoy it. Again, thank you so much for watching this video, and enjoy playing Ticket to Ride. It's a really fun game. Clean up. This one's a bigger game to clean. Clean up, clean up, clean up, clean.